This is the bottom piece that we're going to be just OD grinding or ID grinding this hole here. This one's simple because you only have one hole. And what we're going to do, the other one we made for about a 1 to 2/10 press fit for a dowel pin. This here will be a slip fit, no shake. And when you use this Planet 600 and this setup over here, it is really easy to get those. In the last video, I mentioned that I figured that I would only have to move over about a thousandths from the first to the last, and it was about 12/10. Grinding both holes with 15 thousandths stock in their interrupted cuts, and that's just to show you the quality of the Continental Diamond tool on their resin bond and the structure of the wheel. The thing's cut so free I don't even see sparks. I can barely hear it. I'm taking 2 thousandths total off the diameter, 1 thousandths per pass, and I'm just bringing this up to just let you know that you know, the quality in these wheels is just off the chart in my opinion. So we're gonna grind this, the base part. I have this one already clamped, and I'm just using a regular can't twist clamp on here. And I already ground 4 of these out, and it's working pretty good. And so I just get that in there, have that just slightly snugged, and then I can just lightly tap it around to get that hole indicated on 0. It actually works pretty good. Later on, I'll probably make also I put a mark here because and at the angle because I don't want it this clamp to hit in here. Later on, I'll build a nice clamp that slides over with a couple set screws in there. But for now, I'm just going to use the can't twist clamps just to get these done. What we're going for is just a perfect slip fit, no shake fit. I went to 0 on the digital, and I'm probably about within 1/10 of where I was last time. Boy, just about there. And there you have it. It's a nice slip fit. There's no shake in that at all. Actually, probably just a hair tight. I think I'm gonna take another blank pass or 2 on there. It does have drag, but just a little bit too much. Yeah, no, just perfect right there. Yeah, you can still feel drag, nowhere near as heavy, but a perfect fit. We'll bring these over to the mill next. Because in the model, when I had these drawn up, I didn't add enough clearance in this relief area over here, so I'm going to hard mill that in a little bit, and we'll show that operation on the mill. So what happened is, because I don't have enough clearance in this area down here, it wants to bind up, and that's not a good thing. So I'll take on the mill, and we're going to hard mill some relief in there. And I'm going to get the pin out. I have to change my model so that when we have those parts of CNC work on there, that this is an operation I won't have to keep repeating. And I already have everything set up. I'm using a 1/2 inch end mill over here, carbide coated. I'm coming in where I'm just barely touching on the surface for my Z depth. And so what I'm doing is it's just a clearance, so the tolerances, I'm not too concerned. I'm coming back where I'm hitting the back. I'm coming up until I hit that shoulder, and then I know where original was, and I have this set so I can take a few thousandths off the back. And then because I set 0 where I touched into that radius, I'm going to go 15 thousandths pass to make sure I got good clearance. And then on the bottom I got some clearance on there. I'll flip this over. As soon as I clean a little burr off there, I'll flip it over and we'll do the other side, and then we'll see how it fits. On this side, you got to be real careful because the end mill's spinning this way. It's called climb milling, and because I'm less than half the end mill, I got to keep this table snug down, because as soon as I hit it, there's slop in the machine, a lot of it, and the table's loose, is going to dig in, and you're going to crash. So when you come on this side, you have to approach it a little bit more cautiously. And then I'm going to come off it in this direction. I'm going to wind over the 15, take my slop out the other way, and then I'm going to come back to 0. And walk it out. Clean the burr off, and then we'll check and see how it fits. Okay, there we got a pin in there now. And you can see it's got plenty of clearance. There's no interference. It works nice and smooth. Okay, just to give you an idea how good that this grinds, I believe this is, let me grab a calipers over here. Yeah, it's about a 2-inch dowel pin roughly. So in 2 inches, we're at +1. And we're about -1/2. So we're about a tenth, 1/10,000th and a half on the straightness there, which is good. I'm shooting for ±2/10 in this direction. Once I assemble these, I will touch up, grind everything. They'll come out real nice, perfect. But the other thing that we have to do now is, now that I have this ground for that slip fit on that dowel, I need to, I left grind stock on these surfaces. And so what I got to do is I'll have to tear setup down from the ID, and then this one's coming out pretty close. Most of them have about 3 or 4 thousandths on. This one's only got a few tenths on it, so that one's pretty close where it's at. But most of them have about 3 or 4 thousandths that I'll have to come and I'll have to just clean that up. And what I'll be shooting for, I'm going to be shooting for ±1/10, but we'll make them, if I get ±2, we'll call it good. But I'm going to shoot for ±1 or closer on the height where your gauge block stacks will be in here. And again, once we get these things finally assembled, I will check them, how close they are, and if I have to, I'll just dust off the top to make it as flat as I can get it. Well, we finished with the parts. They just come back from laser etching. They all worked out real nice. But this is the, let's see. You put your gauge block setup underneath there. Very nice, very accurate Sine plates. So this batch is done. We got a couple things that I want to go over yet. One of the things that we like about YouTube and Instagram is being able to make new friends all over the country. And so we just had a nice gentleman by the name of Paul Watts. He contacted us and wanted to send us a gift. And what he sent us was these 2 carbide balls. These things come in handy. I'm not going to set them down. They're going to roll and fall on the floor, but they're about 2 inches and 90 thousandths. And the reason that they're an oddball size is because these used to go, I believe it was in a ball and seat combination for oil wells, and his dad would recondition these balls. Paul was telling me that you get a lot of nasty chemicals in those oil wells and stuff, and then they can mess these balls up a little bit. And so his dad would recondition the balls in the seats, and I believe there was a 5/1000ths tolerance that you have on the balls, so he could lap these things down and get them nice and good again, and then resell them. And so anyhow, he had these, and he sent them to us, and I'll use them probably not very often. But they'll come in handy when you want to measure tapers and different things like that. Having something like this is really good for that. And if there ever comes a need that I have that, which is very rare, we'll definitely do a YouTube video on that in the future. But one of the things that worked out kind of nice was, and I didn't know it at the time, but I checked. Paul has a YouTube channel, and we're going to put a link to it. And he fixes up air guns, and he actually fixes them up. He rebuilds them, reconditions them, And this is a Beeman R7. I've had this, when I was a teenager. I'm 61 right now, so we're probably good 40 some years. It's probably been sitting for the last 30 years in the closet, and it's in kind of rough shape. And as we got to talking to Paul and get to know him a little bit better, he's going to take and he's going to fix this up. And so anyhow, it'll be better than brand new. And if you check out his channel and see the work he's done, he just does awesome work. Beautiful, beautiful air rifles that he reconditions and fix up. And he's got a number of videos on there explaining all the steps that he goes through on these. And so anyhow, we're going to show, this is the before, and he'll probably be doing some videos that he will probably show on fixing this up and what he's doing to it. And then we'll have some afters, and we'll show this in action then. My youngest daughter just turned 21, and I didn't know what to give her, but just about everybody in the family were big into air guns. We like target shooting with that. We got some 177 calibers and some 22 calibers. And so anyhow, getting to know Paul a little bit, it looks like he's really skilled, probably one of the best at working on these air guns. And so it's just kind of neat. Again, you meet these different people, and they have different skill sets than what you possess, and you know, it's just kind of nice to have a friendship like that. But my daughter, she just turned 21, and she's the real quiet one, and I didn't know what to get her and for a present. And so anyhow, that's about the time that Paul was contacting me through email to send those carbide balls, and then we got to know Paul a little bit and found out about the air gun business. And this is going to actually be a present for my daughter once it's all fixed up. And she said that she would like that very much. I didn't know if she'd want one or not, but she said that she would definitely like it because of the been in the family for a long time, so she's wanting to keep it that way. And when Paul fixes it up, like I say, it'll be better than it was brand new. But this was a very accurate air rifle when I had it, and brand new. It was amazing how accurate it was. So I have a good idea that when Paul's done, it's going to be even better than it was brand new. So anyhow, check out his videos, and you'll probably see this air rifle being fixed. If he chooses to do a video, you'll see some more about there. But we'll definitely show some after videos when it's all done, and do a little target shooting with it. So, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.